Do you think, is it possible that it's down to the technology? It's not something that, by default appears in a standard SAM tool. So, you're just not seeing them, or is it something deeper than that? Why do you think we're maybe not, the average person isn't thinking of these?
It may be a combination. So I think that's definitely part of it. There are a lot of the usual suspects when it comes to ITAM tooling don't really talk about this. It's not something that's really embedded within there. That you wouldn't go to one of these and see suddenly IoT as a module or anything to that effect. So it doesn't get much visibility from that tooling perspective, from ITAM tooling, I should say, perspective. But also I think some of it is the traditional thinking, where you've been doing this for a long time. You tend to find yourself thinking along the same lines, and when we go to events and having things like webinars and stuff, we all seem to talk about the same thing. So having these webinars is great because it enables people to think outside of the box, as it were. But I think adoption of it, we've got to start somewhere. I think it'll only take a couple to kick it off, and then be like, oh, actually, there's value in doing this, and that will start to seep through, I think, into some of these more industry reporting and industry opinions that we see. But yeah, I think and I think that the technology itself, as I say, it's so quick to evolve these days, and we're playing catch up. That's the truth of it.
Yeah.
And as I think I mentioned at the top of this, usually it's unfamiliar to us. It's not something we've seen before. We have a concept of what a smart device is because we've got one. They're in our pockets or on our desks right now. So we've got a concept of it, but we don't really translate that to the business in the same way. And so yeah, it's about, I think it's adaptation, right? We have to adapt. Not suggesting that the legacy IT stuff is going to go away, but I think we've got a good handle on that. The tools are there, the processes are there, the professionals are there, the experience is there for those things. We just need to adapt to include these types of devices. There's a whole series of other things to talk about as well, but specifically for these, it's all about adaptation.